What's happening in Oklahoma? This is the Oklahoma Memo for Tuesday, August the 5th. Let's start with some breaking news that KFOR posted to its website after this morning's edition of Oklahoma Memo was already put to bed. Here's the headline. Emails show Walters initially allowed to choose which of his own devices were investigated. Now, KFOR does a great job of what we call in the news business advancing the story. They've been on top of the Ryan Walters investigation from the very start. What they're reporting here is that the Oklahoma Office of Management and Enterprise Services, better known as OMS, went to the state superintendent and basically said, yeah, we've been asked to investigate what's on your devices. So which devices would you like us to look at? And I know that sounds unusual, but a source with lots of government experience tells me it's not. OMS cannot compel Walters to turn over his personal devices. Now, the Sheriff's Office and the OSBI, that's a different story. There's been a lot of conspiratorial talk, too, over the weekend, that what board members actually saw was news footage from the death of Hulk Hogan. However, that none of them, including and especially Walters, didn't immediately recognize it, even if this were true, would be outright shocking. And it wouldn't explain his initial reaction to it, his reported initial reaction, and the fact that he hadn't mentioned it since, that other people have. To me, is it possible? It's crossed my mind. 1 in a million, 1 in 100,000, but it's a real reach. Anyway, great job by KFOR on the story. And remember, kids, if it sounds like a conspiracy theory, it probably is. Big stories in the newsletter this morning are both good news for Oklahoma. Oklahoma Voice's Barbara Hoberock has an update on the condition of state bridges. For those of you old enough to remember, 2 decades ago, the state was ranked 49th. Now we're all the way up to 4th. Top 10. No sarcasm. That's awesome. Big credit to Tim Gatz and the State Department of Transportation. We also got good news from Senator Langford about monies he helped secure on behalf of our military bases in the state. And that includes $55 million for the McAlester ammunition plant, $127 million for a new Tinker Air Force Base hangar, and $54 million for a child development center on the base, plus lots of veteran policy changes that I detail in this morning's newsletter. And now, it's time for the Oklahoma Rundown, where I go from Alva to Antlers, Elk City to Vian to find you the most interesting, most important stories of the day. From Oklahoma Voice, lawmakers push to regulate Oklahoma medical debt, hospital price transparency. From the Black Wall Street Times, judge finds Channon Smith is likely innocent, but Oklahoma just won't let go. From KWGS, Free Palestine Tulsa protest highlights public opinion shift on Israeli military action in Gaza. Support local journalism by following me right here and signing up for Oklahoma Memo at oklahomamemo.com. My mission is to amplify the great work of newsrooms and journalists all across the state. And remember, a free press frees minds.